My name is Christopher Waite. I go to St. Philip Neri Parish in Midwest City. I'm 21, and I'm a student at OSU. Yeah, my friends call me Conservative Chris sometimes.
Yes.
I don't know why. I'm conservative and direct. That's my thing. ISTJ. I grew up in a Catholic family. I went to Catholic school all my life. Growing up with all that religious education, I always accepted it as true, and I never really knew anything else besides it. Being Catholic was my life. Growing up, I went to Mass every Sunday. Starting at 5th grade, I started doing altar serving. I originally did it because I knew that it would make Mass go by a little bit faster. I continued this all the way through my senior year. I was just a normal Catholic kid, went to school, did my work, and went home. And the same truth was always there with me. I believed that God was always there, and I knew the big truth, but I never really got into it. Senior year in high school, I decided to apply and work at this crazy Catholic summer camp. I thought, well, you know what? I did Catholic school all my life. I can do a Catholic summer camp, and I was told it'd be a lot of fun. And that's really all it was for me. I made really great friends. I went to school at OU, and there I kind of kept the same attitude with, I knew God was true, I just had a really great experience at camp, but that's all I really have right now. I would go to Mass maybe once or twice a month whenever I went home to my family. Never really got involved with Catholic college events. That's all I did at OU. After my first year of college, I went back to camp, and suddenly I was now a head counselor. And I was really excited for the role and the opportunity to work the entire summer. Being a head counselor, I knew I wanted to do a good job, and to do that, I knew I had to start taking my faith seriously. While I started doing that, I really found a true love for Scripture, and then just started making prayers that connected with me, and then that allowed me to kind of have that connection with the kids, and the kids' connection with God. When I got up to Stillwater and started going to college up there, a friend asked me to go to Wednesday night Mass. I eventually said yes because I wanted her to stop asking me. At Wednesday night Mass, I found a really great group that I kind of saw as a family. During the spring semester, I had a big breakthrough on kind of finding out who God is to me. Spring and sophomore year was a really busy semester for me, and the pressures of school and work and clubs and organizations it was a real big burden on me. One time after my Wednesday night class, I decided to walk over to the church. I was going to have my Wednesday Mass with all my fellow Catholic students, and as I sat down, I had this big just sense of relief. It was almost like for the first time I really felt God's presence. I didn't exactly hear anything, but in my mind, all I could think of was, I was always here with you. And that was a big impact on my life. That feeling of God's presence for the first time was just pure consolation. So that a big sense of consolation continued to happen every Wednesday night for that semester. I would go to Mass every Wednesday, and I would sit down, and that feeling was I felt it every time, and every time it felt like I was feeling it again for the first time. That experience started a life changing. That past year have been starting with that has been life changing. So after that moment, even with the stress that came with school and organizations, I really started to believe that as long as I did what I know I should do with school, I really didn't have to worry about anything else. The only thing that truly mattered was God. After I made that realization, other things started to change. Before, whenever I was trying to get involved, I didn't want people to know I was Catholic. I didn't want that to affect how they would think of me or my chances on getting a position I felt at the time was important. So after I had that experience and the happiness I felt, I wanted that to be something that so many other people would get to experience. I wanted people to know I was Catholic, and and I was proud of who I was. So after I started to really open up my life to God, and knowing that the only thing that really mattered was my relationship with Him, a lot of great things started to happen. I used to always put pressure on myself with school and organizations, but focusing on God made school a little bit easier as well. During one of my job interviews, I was really surprised. First, when I walked in, I saw a big Bible verse on the wall. And then during my interview at this really big engineering firm in Oklahoma City, the employer just was really interested about my work with the Archdiocese, my work with the kids at the summer camp, and then me teaching confirmation at a church. And that's what they wanted to know about. That really tied everything together, that God was the most important person in my life. My name is Waite, and I am Catholic. It's always this weird